Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Tuesday show. Today is Thursday, and I knew that. What's going on, everyone? How we doing? Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a lovely and fantastic day out there today. Just opened up my Ghost energy drink, Welch's grape flavored. That's that good stuff. Yeah, I like tits. Me too, wasted again. Tits are fantastic. I like them as well. What's going on, everyone? How we doing? She's alive. I'm looking this stuff up, and I'm trying to do the Where Are They Now series. And I looked up Riley's, and I did that, so I started looking up Milo's. I might have talked about this tangentially, but I looked up Milo's, and I saw that Milo had a hour-long video up talking about, I survived anti-SJW YouTube. And I'm like, well, I gotta watch this. I have to see whatever is being talked about here. I have to watch this video. It's gonna be good content. I have to watch this. But I don't have to watch it by myself. I can do it with friends. So you guys are doing it with me. So welcome to the next at least couple hours of your life. You're watching this with me. Y'all are watching this with me. So what's going on? How we doing? How's everyone's Thursday doing? Stop getting ripped off. Make your own medicated gummy bears. I'm not too big on the marijuanas, honestly. I'm not too big. I think it's fine, just not my gimmick. Currently my drug of choice is painting orcs. I'm trying to paint. I got a very legit file of a thing called a Mech Daddy, and I'm trying to paint that. It's really hard to make paint look shitty. And like I've originally tried to like just paint shitty, and it just didn't look right. It did not look right. So now I have to try to make it look shitty. It's difficult. Like, why the fuck is it so hard to make paint look like shit? I'm just peachy good. Are you not live on YouTube? I'm live on the Sinatra Says channel. I'm live over on the OG. We're bringing it back. We're bringing the OG channel back, baby. I put that Riley video up. Honestly, I thought the channel was still dead in the water, dead in the algorithm. This shit's almost at like 30,000 views. That's insane. So whatever hole YouTube put me in, their recent legal troubles, that I am no longer in that hole. The real test will be if they let me remonetize. Then we'll know for sure. We'll know for sure then. Ghost, so close to being a decent energy drink if it wasn't filled with sucralose. It's my favorite one. Shelly says it's too sweet, but I don't mind it too much. And I usually don't like sweet things, but I don't know. I like it. It is good for me. But seriously, though, why is trying to make paint look shitty so difficult? Hello, First Amendment. How you doing? Where have I been? Well, I've been streaming on. This is the question I get a million times. I've been streaming on another channel. I never left YouTube. I have been here the whole time. I never left. I've just been streaming on another channel due to this one being myrtled. This one was myrtlated. So I've been streaming someplace else, but I've never left. Like my content's been here. There's a good 2 or 3 year backlog worth of shit to take a look at on the Silent Sin channel, if you want to take a look at that. But once I saw everything happening with YouTube and the lawsuit, I said, fuck it, man. Why wouldn't I try? Miss Sin talked me into it, and I did it. Oh, no! Miss Sin talked me into it, and I did it. And here we are. Oh shit, Nanya, you need a wrench. Standard moderator, boop. Ah, beautiful. Look at that sexy woman. Got back. Okay, you get there when you get there. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at this. I figured if I have to watch it, for the video, there is literally no reason why on earth I should have to do it by myself. So guess what? You guys are watching it with me. You're in it now, baby. You guys are watching this with me. So please hit the like button. Please share it out. All that stuff. That's gonna really help in the game of the algorithm. And as you guys know, there's a lot of gaming to be played with the algorithm. So yeah, hit the like, share it out, all that stuff. If you want to support, you know how to do that. All the fun stuff down below. And let's get to this video while I paint my orcs. Well, one orc. Paint my one orc.
The hate comments and response videos.
Is that how we start it?
The hate comments and response videos have slowed down since 2016, but the biggest...
Yeah, because everyone who made anything... And I refuse to call it right-wing content, because that's not what happened. It wasn't just right-wing content that got screwed over. It was anything that just went against the mainstream narrative. Oh, anti-SJW. No, it's just everything. Everything that went against the narrative got fucked.
Change for me is that I have built up my sense of self-worth that is not going to be crumbled by LARPing white nationalists. Okay,
so again, we're poisoning the well very early there. We have to keep in mind that not everybody who disagrees with you is a... What did she call it? LARPing white nationalist?
Of self-worth that is not going to be crumbled by LARPing white nationalists.
Yeah, that just because somebody disagrees with you, especially anti-SJW, because half the SJW community turned out to be a bunch of grifter socialists.
Okay, whew. Hi all, it's Milo. It is
Did that reach tire you out a little bit?
Frustrating and deeply saddening that my experiences of facing an online harassment campaign around 2016.
Sorry, Milo, I think your channel got to like 20 or 30,000 subscribers, and I know that doesn't that's not an argument to what she's saying, but this whole thing was not about you. You were never prevalent enough to have an entire community come after you specifically.
Are still relevant to conversations taking place on this platform around creator responsibility. In the 5 years since that harassment started, small trans creators have remained the targets of reaction videos that target trans people for their appearance and identities under the ruse of...
I have been doing this a long time, and I've never seen a trans person be reacted to. And I think reaction is a great way to word it, honestly. I've never seen a trans person reacted to where the only response to what they said was, oh, you just look like a dude. You must be a dude. Why you're not a woman? I've never, ever heard that. Which does bring me around to another point. A lot of people got exceptionally mad at my Riley video because I kept calling Riley a she. I have to do that per YouTube's guidelines. Just because the channel's brought back doesn't mean it can't be fucked over again. You have to use people's preferred pronouns and all that shit.
Making a political argument, and leftist and trans YouTubers have not done the work we need to do to understand what creator responsibility means and how to prevent harassment campaigns in the future. Recently, listening to and being in community with Brennan, Ashton, and Luxander has really been changing the way that I think about my experiences facing harassment as a queer person online. They have been engaging in a really powerful discussion.
Can we just let... Can we let it go? Damn. We are all old enough to know that disagreement is not harassment. I don't agree with your voting politics. I'm not harassing you. I don't agree with your foreign policy prescriptions. I don't believe with your economic ideas. That's not harassment.
Discourse about exactly how being the subject of reaction videos has impacted their personal lives. It is them who I give my thanks to for helping me build up my courage to talk about this publicly. These conversations have so much value as they make clear that social media platforms still let harassment campaigns take place, and they point out that being
Could you please define to me in your own words what exactly what exactly a harassment campaign is, please, because I hear you saying a lot, but I just no description of it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dogpiled online is a specific type of harassment that can't really be likened to other types of bullying. It is perhaps because of their openness that I now feel like I can talk about what I went through. Not only that, but I feel compelled to impart the details of some of the most traumatic
all this for 75,000 views.
Experiences of my life. Because just being aware of the extent of dogpiling has not been enough to prevent the same type of harassment campaigns from happening over and over again. A lot of people seem to think that YouTube is a much easier place to have political discourses on than it was in 2016, but I would really seriously challenge that judgment. Despite having great examples of—
If you feel this strongly about YouTube and being on it and the other creators on it, there is nothing that says you have to do this. Like, you are always way more than welcome to delete your channel and move on. Unless you are under some contractual obligation to stay on YouTube, nothing is forcibly keeping you here.
Of the sheer intensity of videos made about me and others, YouTube has not done enough or really anything to protect communities on its platform. Still is with
most of the people I know, at least, who had or regularly talked about Milo Stewart were deplatformed, demonetized, or in some way, shape, or form they were silenced, censored.
Extreme sincerity that I say I would not be opening up like I am about to right now if it wasn't for creators who have opened up before me, and if it wasn't for the changing political consciousness that seems to be happening in a lot of communities online right now. The outpouring of support that I got after Calvin Guerra made a video about me last year, and the sheer number of supportive comments that I get daily really make clear that my transness and my political opinions are not as controversial as they were.
That's what? No, that's not how that works. You just found a new community to kind of tell you what you already thought. That's not how politics works. You can't just go, everyone's more accepting of me, I'm around a whole new group of people. You didn't change any minds.
5 years ago. Because of that, I'm making this video without a debilitating fear of the backlash that I could get for exposing just how embarrassing it was that so many creators joined in on dogpiling me years ago. That is in stark contrast to what it was like talking about my experiences while I was still at the peak period of harassment. The last time I made a video talking about the impact of reaction videos on my daily life, that video became the subject of reaction videos that then flooded my channel with dislikes and more distasteful comments. That made me afraid to say,
again, if you are in what you are doing, don't get it twisted. You are putting content on the internet, public, monetized, edited content. People are going to have thoughts, they're going to have opinions, they're going to want to reply to it in one way, shape, or form. You are not above people responding to the stuff you say. You don't get to just go, I don't like this. I don't like thing A. So you shouldn't be able to say thing A. That's not how any of this works. You cannot do that.
Anything for years. For years, I have tried to just tuck her on and show that there's more to me than that kid in the videos that went viral. Now feels like a good time to say that I'm proud of that kid. They deserved more kindness. They went through a lot to not let the internet crush them completely. Now I want to tell their story. I'm going to be giving some pretty heavy content warnings.
What? Who is they? You're one person. Who is they? Are you they? What? I'm very confused.
On this video. Before that content appears, a timestamp will appear on screen for...
Oh shit, you know what? I fucked up. And I fucked up. Hold on, let me fix this. I don't remember the exact number, so we're gonna round up. No, that's incorrect. No. Math. Yeah, we just round up for that. Delta kicked us halfway to this goal, so I wanted to keep it going. The missing AdSense money. There we go. Fixed the stream goal. Okay, all is right in the world.
When the content is over, so you can skip it if you would like to. I'm going to start by giving a timeline of exactly what happened when I refer to the harassment campaign in 2016. Because so many channels made reaction videos to so many of my videos.
Oh my god. Can we please stop? You produced, uploaded, and monetized content. People responded to it. Your content was impressively stupid.
A lot of viewers only have a partial picture of exactly how I was targeted by anti-feminists in 2016. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to name the creators who made videos about me, and ultimately I decided that there's no way for me to really accurately describe what happened without naming at least a few names. Really, up until...
Did we make the list? Oh boy, guys, did we make the list?
Last year, I didn't feel like I could publicly acknowledge my harassers because I was afraid that accusing someone of harassment would in turn subject them to harassment. Or I was afraid that it would prompt more targeted harassment.
Disagreeing with people on the internet is not harassment. Can we... And this... Okay, this is an older video, and I'm going to go into this more in depth in the video Catching Up with Milo Stewart, but that won't be out till a very busy week or so, but that won't be out till next week, maybe. But, and I'm sure this is something I'm going to repeat an exceptional amount, but disagreeing with people on the internet is not harassment. If I get into a tiff, okay, let's say, Sargon. Say I get into a tiff with Sargon, and him and I are going back and forth, and his fans are coming over here going, "You're a fucking retard. Why would you believe this, that, and the third?" I'm not going to go, "Oh no, Sargon is harassing me. His fans are harassing me." I would go, "Well, look at these fucking idiots. I don't know what we argued about, but I'm just assuming I'm correct because I am. But that's where my mind would go. I wouldn't go, "Oh boy, look at this targeted harassment over my own words that a lot of people didn't like." It's narcissistic, really.
Towards me. I'm still conscious of the impact that this video could have on the creators that I mention, so I want to make clear that I'm not saying any one individual is responsible for the hell that I went through that year. Some reaction videos were definitely worse than others, and some creators are probably more culpable than others for the harassment that I faced. Regardless, I believe that everyone
So, by Milo's own logic here, if anybody she talks about, if we can go find a video that one of her fans had left a comment on, does that mean Milo was engaging in targeted harassment? Because by their own logic, that's exactly what I'm picking up here.
Going to mention was an adult when they made videos publicly shaming a 17-year-old. You can debate if that...
If you were not capable of having adults talk about the content you make at 17, sorry, you should not have been making content at 17. especially content that was mainly for adult consumption, because I highly, highly doubt the videos you were making about politics and policies and shit like that was made for 17-year-olds. And again, I want to bring up, why is it so difficult to paint stuff to try to look shitty? Why can't I just paint shitty? Why would it not be easier?
Constitutes harassment, but regardless, it's pretty embarrassing for them. When I say that I can't accuse a single person of initiating the harassment against me, that's because, not that I'm counting, but I may have made a playlist of all the reaction videos about me that I could find, and that playlist is 200 videos long. That doesn't even include a number of videos that were taken down by the creator or removed by YouTube for harassment before I made the playlist. That also excludes a number of cringe compilations that my videos have been included in. And when I find those, I normally issue a copyright claim. Cringe
That's
compilations
shitty.
use the entirety or a large part of my videos without commentary or transforming them in any way. They're still like publicly shaming and are used to laugh at trans people. So when I find them, I take them down.
Milo, you are not... That's victim ego stroking. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Guys, I was so popular as a kid. Even adults were making videos about me. That's what it sounds like. This is hardcore ego stroking. Why would you even bother making a video about a child? Oh, and oh fuck, shit, I'll have to do it in a second. I'm so not on the ball today. I swear to God, I have an ear infection. I went to urgent care earlier, and they're like, nope, you're just really congested. And I was like, okay, that's weird, because it feels like I have water in my ear. Is that from congestion? And he goes, oh, probably. All right, thanks, man. But we have the Halloween donations on right now. And from the last time I streamed on this channel, which was a couple of years ago, I may have updated a couple of new ones. So if you guys want to see any of the Halloween hotness I have for the month of October, that is all down below at Streamlabs. There's a lot of good shit down there.
I'm completely within my right to do that because it's not fair use. I only started doing that recently though, so many of those videos got millions of views before I gave them copyright claims. Of the reaction videos made about me, a majority received tens or hundreds of thousands of views. I counted 9 that received at least 1 million views, and a couple of those received several million views. I think it's important to note that I'd been getting reaction videos to my content long before I made that video. You know the one. The first time that I remember getting a reaction video to my content that was harassing in nature was after I posted a video talking about male privilege as a transmasculine person on March 21st, 2015, when I was 16 years old. The reaction video was made by an anti-feminist channel that I don't think exists anymore because I can't find it, but I remember the channel having more subscribers than me. At the time—
Who? Just say who. What? And why are you making and uploading adult content at 16 years old if you don't want people to disagree with you like an adult? I have a lot of questions, and I know none are going to get answered, but I still have lots and lots of questions. Why are you question teasing me? Why are you queasing me?
Time, I think I had like at most 2,000 subscribers. My comments were flooded with transphobic jokes, but the response was nothing like what I would receive later. Most of the videos that I made that sparked the most aggro responses, besides for the implicit bias one, were just talking about gender and sexuality. What's really horrific looking back now is that a couple of videos I made at 17 with my then partner, who was 15 in 2016, received several reaction videos when all we were talking about was
They're all private. Why are they private?
gender expression and our high school relationship. The first few responses—
So you were 17 years old bringing a 15-year-old on YouTube to talk about your relationship? That's weird.
videos to gain a lot of traction were by anti-feminist channels that had a high degree of anonymity. You know, the channels that use LARPy usernames and don't show their faces on camera? Yeah, those.
Oh shit, that's us. Milo's talking about us.
Doomed made a video about me on
Undoomed? Undoomed? No, he really looks like that. Dude's got no face.
January 21st, 2016, and I believe Barry might have been making videos about me at the same time, but those videos are no longer public. I hate that these channels have platforms with names like that because it feels ridiculous to be talking about them in this video. Like, with names like that, I don't feel like I should be taking you seriously.
The following clips are from a video response to me. Including in this video is documented harassment against me, content warning, transphobia, misgendering, mention of sexual violence, ableist slurs. Oh my.
Today we have a social justice double.
See, I love Undoom's voice. Today we have a social justice
team gangbang. No, I'm kidding. Well, sort of. Anyway, these two girls have decided to make a collaboration video explaining pronouns. And that Tumblr shit needs to be come down upon with great anger and furious vengeance. Or, you know, just made
and he will know I am the Lord.
Fun of. So let's have a look-see. What do you have for us today's special?
Just so you guys know, this is half the reason I took my old content down, because that shit was cringy.
Snowflakes?
But for trans people, pronouns can either validate or mock our identities.
Great. Why didn't you get some trans people to do this video then? Personally, I don't think two girls with short hair and a deep neckline counts. What's driving you? Is it penis envy?
Anyway, I think it's pretty significant that these were the first channels to find my content. While this is just speculation, it would seem to indicate that the more popular, I don't know, is normie the right word, channels?
In 9 years, I've come to realize that people generally want to surround themselves with yes men. It's stupid then, and it's only gotten worse over the years, and that doesn't apply just to one political side. No. It absolutely does not apply to one political side. I've noticed, and I remember calling this out a few years ago, what I would call right-wing reactionary types who, like, Cat Turd is a great example. They're fans of political sides instead of capable of actually having any sort of criticism railed against Trump in Cat Turd's case. It's ultimate yes men, and it's really it's really weird to see, honestly.
Share audiences with channels that are much more far right. That or YouTube's algorithm promoted increasingly conservative content to more and more centrist audiences. Since, you know, it's been proven that YouTube
recommends right-wing content to people since fucking when?
Has had issues where its algorithm has promoted increasingly extremist content in recommended videos. Without these factors,
I seemingly recall that study, and I seem to remember that there was a lot of left-wing stuff included in that specific study. But I don't think we're going to talk about that, are we?
I think that outrage to my content would have stayed in a pretty niche part of YouTube if I got reactions at all. Case in point, on February 18th, 2016, Milo tweeted a link to my YouTube channel with some pretty disgusting comments. I was basically a nobody with no following at that point. I would absolutely have received no attention online if it wasn't for these huge conservative—
Oh, yes, it was Milo Yiannopoulos' fault. I knew it. I knew Milo Yiannopoulos did it.
figures putting my channel on blast. And yes, that is a grown man in his 30s telling a 17-year-old that they're the most repellent failure of a human being he's ever seen. That's so nice of you, thanks. At least one of us is still gay and allowed on twitter.com. You can follow me at genderthrash. Things start—
imagine that being your own is I'm still allowed on Twitter and I'm still gay. Like, okay, so you're allowed on Twitter. I don't know how being gay is some kind of an own to somebody who is still gay. But okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Oh, whoops.
How to be an ally. You can follow me at you. Thanks. At least one of us is still gay and allowed on twitter.com. You can follow me at genderthrash. Things started to pick up when I posted a
fun little update. Milo's account is gone. This Milo, not Yianopolis. This Milo has since deleted their account.
Video titled How to Be an Ally to Transgender People on March 2nd, 2016 that received reaction videos by Blair White and a number of other creators. That's when I felt like I needed to make another video to clarify the point I was making when I said,
First of all, being an ally is an uncomfortable position. In order to benefit the trans community, you must be active in your support. This means standing up for trans rights whenever it's safe for you to do so, and always deconstructing your learning.
Well, according to you, it is never safe to stand up for trans people.
Learned biases. All cisgender people are transphobic, just as all men hold misogynistic views, and all white people are racist.
That brings me to the video. You can watch that video here. It is unlisted. I'm not trying to hide it. In fact, please watch it because it has been quote mined so much that I don't think people know what I actually said in that video. That video prompted responses from creators with much bigger platforms, like TJ Kirk of The Amazing Atheist, Onision, Calvin, aka Leafy is here, and Daz Black. Also,
Who is Daz Black?
many more creators. That's just me name dropping how many people online hate.
Yes, you must participate in the struggle session. Jesus Christ, talking hard. Same slide.
I talk mostly about Western societies because that is what I have the most experience with.
Yeah, well, maybe you should visit those other societies just so you have a better basis of understanding. In Western culture, here's how the conversation goes. Hey guys, I may appear female, but I am in fact a non-binary trans person who prefers male pronouns. Some of us do not agree. I am oppressed! Ah! Meanwhile, in Middle Eastern society, hey guys, I may appear female, but I am in fact a non-binary trans person who prefers male pronouns. Behead the infidel! But first, let us rape her to remind her that she is female!
God, could you imagine TJ saying shit like that today?
African society. Hey guys, I may appear female, but I am in fact a non-binary trans person who prefers male pronouns. She is a witch! She eats the poo-poo! Let's chop her up into pieces, then burn the pieces!
That is not only not funny, that's stupid.
Milo has just under 10,000 subscribers, and she's made a lot of videos. I should probably say he, because I don't want to offend Milo. So she, at the end of the video, again said that she feels all white people are racist. I'm none of these things, alright? You can't just come on here with your crazy fucking face, looking at me like you want to hang me in a tube.
Is that why my channel never blew up like some of these other ones? Because I didn't scream into the microphone?
Tube sock and beat me and just say that I'm all these things. I'm fucking offended.
Okay, so remember 20 seconds ago when I said that there's some people that I look at that I immediately just do not like? Well, that was a
I gotta dump my paint water cup. I'm gonna turn my speakers on so I can still listen.
fucking joke. But now I'm not joking. I really do not like the look of this person. Like, I don't know. I'm laughing, but I'm being serious. I'm dead ass serious, alright? There's something about her head that just... It fucking pisses me off, dude. Like, I just do not like the look of this person, alright? I don't know what it is, I just don't like her. Alright, so we're basically 30 seconds into the video, and she's already proven to you, me, science, pretty much everybody that she's a complete retard. Gender identity. Dude, I'm so sick of this fucking shit, okay? Listen, if you want to sit there and say that you're a fruit roll-up, or a mailbox, or a fucking dildo, go ahead. But you are born a boy or a girl, okay? Period. There's no fucking debate.
Loud is funny. Loud can be funny, but... I don't know. That implies a level of a personal care, I guess, to a lot of the shit that I just don't have.
You are literally a boy or a girl.
That's oh, hey, that's me. Oh, this is old. That's old. That's me. This is me. I can't even finish this video. Milo Stewart is so dead in her fucking head that I can't even continue to make a video on her. Her brain is made, again, the only one not yelling, made of dog shit.
Some of these videos were definitely much tamer than others. However, I think most of
We made it, boys. Yeah, exactly. Still, we're in the big leagues.
these videos could fit into YouTube's definition of harassment. If you want
Saying your brain is made of dog shit is not harassment. It's honesty.
to argue that this is an incidence of criticism and not harassment, I mean, you can, but that feels like a pretty poor read of the situation. YouTube's community guidelines state that content uploaded with the intent to shame, deceive, or insult a minor constitutes as
Well, then you shouldn't have a minor talking about adult stuff on their platform monetized also.
harassment and cyberbullying. Because I was 17 in the original video, responses that weren't particularly malicious could still be considered harassment because while intent is hard to prove, all of the videos had the effect
Yes, Baba Yaga, that is exactly what's happening here. Saying things about me that I don't like is harassment and should be illegal. Yeah, that's what's happening.
of publicly shaming me. This ranged from comments intentionally misgendering me, calling me an it or a creature, telling me I looked crazy, and making rape jokes about me. A few videos
This video was made in 2021. I seem to remember, I think it was 2019 to 2020, somewhere in there. Destiny got in his first real big spat with the left because he refused to use its pronouns. So how far left do you want to be here, Milo? Do you want to be, okay, you have to use my pronouns, but you can't call me it? Or do you want to be, if you don't call me it, then you're a bad person?
videos that were less offensive could still be considered publicly shaming because they were exposing my video to a much wider audience with the purpose of laughing at me, basically. They did that through quote mining my video to misrepresent my argument, usually to make it seem more extreme or more provocative by only including the parts that sound controversial.
I've noticed that a good portion of this video, their defense, like why they should not have been talked about, why they shouldn't have had videos made about them, was I was a minor. Who told you to be on the internet as a minor? Like, especially a minor who is talking about non-minor things, very adult things. Who told you to come on here and talk about that? None of it has anything to do with your transness. If what you are saying is accurate about trans people, then why is Blair White so I mean, that is a genuine question. But why is Blair White so popular? Why is, you know, all these other trans creators so popular? Why were you singled out to get this harassment? It's a 31-year-old child, you sick fuck. Yeah, right? Insert Law and Order meme here.
Where I don't actually explain the argument I'm making. So they just completely misrepresent.
No, we talked about what you said. It's not misrepresentation to say you said the following. It's stupid. That's called talking. And that's what people did. But real quick, guys, if you're enjoying this, please, you hit the like button. And please, you share it out on your social media. And if you want to support, please make sure you are subscribed, because I know a lot of people have been unsubscribed from the channel. And if you want to support, the Streamlabs is listed down below. Anything you want to throw in the hat is greatly, greatly appreciated.
Represent my argument. The overall effect was extremely humiliating. I also want to point out that some of the videos made about me could be on the verge of being hate speech. I took the screenshot of YouTube's community guidelines in February of 2020, where they say that disparaging someone for pretending to be trans is an example of hate speech. They have since removed that from their community guidelines, and I can kind of get why, because I think that there needs to be a way to critique people like Steven Crowder, who is an openly cis person who has pretended to be trans.
Okay, so the guidelines are really good, unless I really don't like them. And if it protects someone like Steven Crowder, then I really, really don't like it. So those things need to be removed because I really don't like Steven Crowder. just no self-awareness. Like, not even a shred of it, honestly. TOS is good when I can use it against people, but when people can use TOS, that's bad. How do you... my comment, as in replay my comment, brain made of dog shit. Because this is dumb. Or as they say in Adventure Time, dumb.
To make some transphobic argument. Clearly that is different from people telling me that I'm not trans because I'm too feminine or something like that. But I would really like to hear an updated statement from YouTube in terms of, is calling someone a trans trender hate speech? I would really like to know.
No, you're like, okay, I don't know if Milo Stewart has gotten surgery. I don't know if Milo Stewart has gone through and stayed trans. But what I do know is Milo Stewart did go on to make an OnlyFans in which she got naked. In which she had herself as a woman on OnlyFans, in which she showed off her vagina, which I have seen. So I don't know if they are still trans, but they definitely didn't say that on their OnlyFans.
Some people will probably want me to talk about where I stand on my implicit bias video today. Basically, that video was a poor explanation of implicit biases. I absolutely still agree that implicit biases exist, and I think that allies and organizers need to become more aware of their implicit biases and how they show up in their work and in their relationships in a community.
I did not sub. It was sent to me.
Every person is capable of harm, and that includes being complicit in or actively perpetrating systems of oppression. I think as white people, we need to realize that we have probably already done something in our lifetimes that has hurt people of color, or we will definitely do something racist in our lifetimes. We can't be anti-racist if we don't recognize our own capacity to perpetrate harm, even unintentionally, and make sure we...
No. Every black person I have ever met has told me the same thing. None of it, like, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate this properly. No black person has said, I need you to be anti-racist. They're like, just don't be a dick. I'm just a person. And that seems to be like the vast majority of people. They just want to be treated like people. Like, there's a trans person in the chat right now that I know doesn't want to be treated like a trans person. They just want to be treated like a people. People deserve to be treated like people, not like a member of whatever group they happen to be in, whether it's trans, whether it's gay, whether it's black, whatever. They don't want to be treated like a trans person. They don't want to be treated like a gay person. They want to be treated like a person.
Know how to listen when we're called out. Even when we're not perpetrating harm, we're usually benefiting from or complicit in white supremacy unless we're actively challenging it. Acknowledging that myself makes it easier to accept when I have done harm and then work to repair the harm and prevent it in the future. Whether or not I should have called implicit biases, racism, transphobia, etc. is a question that I don't know the answer to. Kat Black made a Twitter thread talking about why she doesn't think that all white people are racist, which I'll link below. I think it is super
If you would have said this back in 2016, you'd have your same people jumping down your throat.
Important to consider a lot of different perspectives on this topic. The reaction that I got from this video makes it really clear why it is important for everyone to acknowledge their capacity for harm. I think it is really painfully clear that I was trying to have a deeper conversation about racism than most people responding could actually understand. Most of the
So were you 17 years old trying to have a deep conversation, or were you a child on the internet uploading videos? Because you can't have it both ways.
people responding seem to have very elementary understandings of what racism is. Like in the thought that racism is only hating a person of color because of their race, and not in the way that power imbalances perpetrate systemic racism within our own relationships.
This video is called All Cis People Are Transphobic, and you're probably racist too. Okay.
I think Milo tried to clickbait a lot of this shit to get the response that they got. and then got upset about it because it was mostly negative.
I'm going to read that again. Fucking all cis people, that's me, are transphobic, and you're probably racist too. Milo, off the back of your title, I'm just going to say, fuck you. I don't mean offense by that, but you just called me a fucking racist, alright? Do you know how many black friends I've got? I've got Indian friends, Jewish friends. I'm not fucking racist.
So many white folks took my video as a personal attack, which makes me wonder if you're so
It is Drunkle's cousin Delta.
confident that you're anti-racist, why does a 17-year-old white teenager saying that implicit biases exist make you
Stop hiding behind the age. You cannot have it both ways.
feel so insecure that you have to proclaim that you're not a racist? Maybe your actions should speak for themselves if you're actually anti-racist, but that's just my thought. Robin DiAngelo, while I would criticize some of her work, writes on the concept of white fragility, which does accurately describe the situation. White fragility is a state in which even a minimum amount of racial stress becomes intolerable, triggering a range of defensive moves. These moves include the outward display of emotions, such as anger, fear, and guilt, and behaviors such as argumentation, silence, and leaving the stress-inducing situation.
So, if you say all white people are racist and they argue with you, like if you turn to me and go, I'm racist, and I go, no, not really. You can go, oh, that's white fragility, you're arguing with me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy right there.
Racial stress results from an interruption to what is racially familiar. As examples of racial stress, DiAngelo names the following sources, suggesting that a white person's viewpoint comes from a racialized frame of reference, receiving feedback that one's behavior had a racist impact, and suggesting that group membership is significant. White fragility explains why the reaction to that implicit bias video.
The only people I have seen on the internet talking about memberships to certain groups are most likely federal operations, or you and your ilk talking about people's memberships to white, to straight, to cis, to all that stuff. That is a topic of conversation that overwhelmingly comes from one side of the internet. I watch a pretty good amount of content all across YouTube. And the only time I see this shit at the same level is if you're talking about it.
It was so strong. Whether or not my video was a good explanation of implicit biases, it created racial stress in a mostly white audience that caused that audience to lose its ability to respond in constructive ways. The result was an angry hate mob targeting a teenager that often resulted in insults and transphobic comments being thrown my way. Because you know,
if you cannot handle what people have to say, don't upload it. I don't care what age you are. If you're going to make content on the internet, you have to be prepared for the eventuality that someone's going to go, yeah, that's kind of shit, isn't it? And then they're like, yeah. And other people go, that's kind of shit, isn't it? And everyone's like, yeah, it is kind of shit. And you're like, well, I'm 16. They're like, okay. You're a 16-year-old whose content is kind of shit. You cannot just hide behind this shit. It's gross.
bullying a trans teenager is a great way to show that you're not transphobic. Add in some racist jokes and you're really on your way to making a point. My video was an attempt to challenge white fragility, but clearly I lacked the language to be able to explain that. For a while, I thought about remaking my implicit bias video because I thought I could re-argue my points better. After my videos kept getting hate into 2017, I realized that a remake probably wouldn't perform any better because a lot of the people responding to my videos were actually just racist or were just really not trying to understand my argument. Since then, I've come to accept that conversations
did she just put
a lot of the
Did she just put an anti-Semitic leafy tweet, well, anti-Semitic joke, leafy tweet up and call it racist? What in the Ben Affleck are you doing, girl?
people responding to my videos were actually just racist or were just really
that's not anti-Semitism.
not trying to understand my argument. Since then, I've come to accept that conversations with family members over the dinner table will probably be more effective at challenging opinions on systemic oppression than videos on the internet will ever be. So I have shifted my energy into abolition and other forms of organizing in real life. My personal philosophy is that I can have a greater impact convincing someone that prisons shouldn't exist than I could by
Wealth isn't just money, it's college education, it's networks created through those institutions. Yeah. But if you want to share some of your wealth, Streamlabs down below. Good show.
convincing someone who is already uncomfortable talking about racism that implicit biases exist. So I'm having more conversations offline, and not only am I getting better responses, but I'm also not dealing with hate mob.
Yeah, that's a good point, Baba Yaga. I thought I was a kid. I thought I was deep and insightful. In reality, it's just I'm 16 and what is this?
That included Nazis and violent transphobes.
I sometimes get asked if I regret making the implicit bias video. And so I want to talk about that because no, I don't regret making that video. There's things that I for sure wish I could have done better about that video.
At any point in time, we're more than welcome to make that video. I keep talking like this is a current video. I don't think Milo's uploaded on her channel in like 4 years.
Sure wish I had put more thought into how I can better convey my message. I wish I had thought about what impact it has for a white person to be talking about the subject. I definitely wish that I hadn't cited Ghazi codes though, and I apologize for that before because that was a mistake. But at the same time, I definitely feel
okay, yeah. At least we can admit that.
Like I am the person I am today because I dealt with the response that I got from that video, and I learned a lot about
Do you need to make your car sound like that?
myself and about the internet and about how white people think about racism through the experience of posting my implicit bias video and getting this massive response. I really fully believe that it wasn't my responsibility to try and control the responses that people had to
Didn't Ghazi Kodzo die? Did he? What?
my video. Yes, I could have better anticipated how people would respond and try to prevent some of the angry responses. I think the people at fault were the adults attacking a teenager online in front of an audience of millions of people and not the teenager.
She has an amazing talent of talking at a certain pitch where I just tune it out.
Who didn't know how to perfectly word a fairly abstract concept about race.
I wish I would have been counting how often she goes back to I was a teenager, so what I said nobody can disagree with. Like that's not how any of this works.
Still, many of my videos were targeted at
Why would you call this I survived anti-SJW YouTube to turn around and make it the implicit bias redux? Like, that's exactly what's happening here.
after the implicit bias one, and I had the great pleasure of being turned into a meme. Shortly after I posted the implicit bias video, I did a live stream with another trans YouTuber who I believe deleted her channel, but she used to go by the transgender atheist. While I was on that stream, Blair White asked to join. Because I was already live, I felt pressure to debate her, but this was not something that I had agreed to beforehand, and I hadn't prepared to talk to her. This conversation was frustrating and unproductive, to say the least. Blair White made a comment to the extent that there's only 2 genders, not 76.
Now, somebody said that Ghazi became a far-right black separatist. Might have to add that to the list.
I was so frustrated and I did not want to talk to Blair about this topic, so I left the stream. And
my husband said he can't watch Crowder because his voice hits his ears like a dog whistle. I didn't get it till Milo. Then I got, yeah, some voices are like that. I get Crowder's too. It like activates a certain resonance in some people's ears where it makes it feel like the little ear bones are vibrating all weird.
And I tweeted #76genders.
That's why it's completely okay to express yourself and be yourself however that means to you. There is no right or wrong way to experience a gender.
Yeah, you can be yourself all you want. I don't think anybody ever argued that. Like, you can wear purple lipstick, dye your hair purple. Who gives a shit? But it's when you start telling me that I have to do X, Y, and Z. That's where the issues are. And I don't think anybody on her side or her ever got that.
That is because we all experience gender in a different way, even though we may use similar or the same labels. Everyone's gender is different. There are infinitely many genders because no one experiences
Oh shit, Dangerous Spaces. Can you send me wherever you're getting that from, please?
their gender in the exact same way. That is why I've started the hashtag 76genders.
The 76 genders video came 2 days later, and yeah, it was mostly sarcastic because I'm an extremely passive
I was young and I was kidding, but the hate I got from it was very real. Okay.
aggressive person. I actually think it's really pointless to try and say how many genders there are. I really only chose 76 because I was responding to Blair. Unfortunately, the context of that video was really unclear, and it then became a meme. Yay, I love
Do you remember the Black Hammer videos? I don't.
having a video of my 17-year-old self become immortalized online.
Hiding behind I should have re-put this video. I should have retitled this video, Milo Stewart blames all stupid decisions on being a teenager.
Fills my heart up. From then, my videos would be the subject of response videos for about a year straight. Leafy is here made 2 more videos after the first one that he made about me.
Again, the same holding card.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I've made quite a few videos on this chick in the past. Oh, sorry, did I say chick? That's actually my bad, dude. Apparently, according to her, she's not a male or a female.
How do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? I identify as non-binary.
None of your business, I'm sorry. I never really got into Doctor Who. I tried my best, but I couldn't really get into it.
Meaning that I don't identify as entirely male or entirely
So after the last Doctor, I don't know who the Doctor is. My last Doctor. I got to like season 2.
female.
So first of all, just what the fuck? And second of all, what are you even supposed to address her as? I seriously still don't know. I mean, like, I swear to God, she's made 3 different videos complaining about people referring to her as fucking her. But yet, while she's making all these videos ranting about this shit, she never even tells people what to actually refer to her as. So, fuck it. I'm just gonna call her it. Like, I swear to God, I'm seriously gonna start referring to her as a disgusting...
And I would like to bring up the point I made a little bit ago about Destiny. I remember not too long after this came out, he got in trouble with the left for not using it as a pronoun when people preferred it.
Creature of the night, because she asked for it, and because, I mean, she already kind of looks like that anyways. I mean, look at her. Holy shit. Oh! Side note, by the way, what the fuck is this creature's hair?
My current... Okay, so as of 4 years ago, before the female OnlyFans, my current pronouns are they, them.
What pronouns honor you? If someone asks me what pronouns I use, I tell them he or they pronouns. But in general, I'm comfortable with people referring to me with most pronouns so long as they're respectful and so long as they don't call me she. Ideally, at some point
It changes so much, we don't know.
in my life, I hope to be comfortable with people calling me she, but right now I'm just not at a point where I can be comfortable with people calling me she because it feels too
Dude, how bad do you think Leafy is laughing right now at iDubbbz?
closely associated with my birth assigned gender, and it feels like people calling me she would be seeing me as...
Fuck, where's my notebook? I need to be taking notes on this shit. Alright, chat. Okay, go back. My handy dandy notebook. Okay. Okay, I don't need that one. Alright. Fresh new page. Milo notes. Notes. What have we learned from this video so far? Regrets nothing? Regrets nothing. Hides. behind age. Blue's Clues. Milo is iDubbbz. Could be. Milo could be iDubbbz. Was 17. Yeah, that's good. Like, there has been nothing in this video. Wanted to make videos again with better arguments. Like, we've learned nothing. Was 17, yes. No, was minor. YouTube did not censor people who disagreed with minor. Minor was 17. Okay, quick notes.
Cisgender. Other creators with small audiences made reaction videos to me that got tens of thousands of views. One creator was kind of obsessed with me and made 10 videos about me that together gained a couple 100,000 views, in which they talked about how I should stop taking testosterone, and they speculated about who I'd had sex with. No matter what I made videos about, it was inevitable that they would get reaction videos because it was popular and lucrative.
You were also making money. They throw this thing around like it's some sort of gotcha. Everyone was cashing in on it.
To make reaction videos to me in 2016. I don't think I can say that the harassment has ever really stopped. Clearly, there's still some number of people who have subscribed to me just to come to every single video I upload and dislike it.
If every video I uploaded was getting at most 19 to 22% like ratio, I think I would go, what did I do wrong that I am getting such a vast amount of people disagreeing with me? What? Oh, okay, none yet. Okay, then yes, that was funny.
The fact that I became a meme means that sometimes I'll be tagged in TikTok.
And also, yes, Streamlabs link is in the description.
And Instagram posts making transphobic jokes out of clips of my videos. And like, you would think that that wouldn't be a big deal, but it just really sucks to see people making the same jokes that they made in 2016. Okay. I guess I can't get too upset.
If I got a good joke, you better believe I'm going to repeat it 9 years later.
Because also I know that the people who think that those jokes are funny are all 12-year-olds. So I guess, I need to also consider that. Kavangera posted and later deleted a video that he made with Blair White in which they reacted to and laughed at my TikToks. It was hurtful.
Oh my god! Miley Stewart is back.
Oh yeah, hold on. I didn't even think to look here. Milo. TikTok. I keep forgetting TikTok is a platform that exists. Okay, let's take a look. Milo Stewart, TikTok. Okay, copy. Hold on.
What I wear as a cartoon character.
That sounds like copyright music. Last TikTok uploaded
fellow.
Oh, top of 2023. That is the
Okay, fellow autistic people, I made a realization today.
Oh, Milo's autistic now. That's okay. So nothing for like 2 years.
Fighting enemies. Me. Fighting enemies. Fighting Blair White. Fighting Jessica Yanib. Fighting Onision. school. You look at that.
That's low-key a cute outfit. I would wear that, but that's probably why Milo shouldn't wear
it. This is my first TikTok. Hashtag NB, hashtag trans. Very bold of you to keep the comments on. What's this fork NB edition?
Hello, fellow Tylenol Americans.
You're so oh god, it makes me so mad.
How are you on testosterone in a bikini?
You're a trans mask, but you're wearing what?
This is why I don't understand when people don't understand that all this fucking shit is just like political, because it's like, I mean,
they. Can you say they, Blair? Have you ever used they pronouns?
The thing about it is like my. The thing about it.
I don't know who this person is with Blair, but quiet.
Like Milo is adhering to every possible like radical leftist position that they can.
Anomia? Yes, but not on this scene. This is all Halloween stuff I have for the pop-ups.
Progress.
Look at you.
I said they.
Look
Come on,
at
progress.
you
know what I
I
mean?
want to make a Blair White fan. Blair White uses they pronouns.
Just a repeat of me saying they.
It's really hard. It's really hard when you look like a girl. No offense.
Oh.
So that means that that means they got.
Okay, I'm skipping this.
Misgendered me, and Calvin said I look like a girl. If I hadn't gone through everything in 2016...
But after this, you started an OnlyFans as a girl. I don't understand.
that video might have been harder for me to watch. It's just kind of sucky. When I was making my TikTok account, the thought crossed my mind that Calvin Guerra would probably make a reaction video to me. I just hate how I was able to predict that. Yes, Calvin took that video down, but he has never apologized to me or talked to me personally. If you are moved to support folks opening up about their experiences being targeted by Calvin, I'll link a playlist of creators in the description that you can go and give your views to. So how did all of this affect me personally? 2016 massively sucked. Divulging how all of these reaction videos affected me feels necessary, but also kind of scary. I'm afraid that an admission of how much these videos affected me will be used as fuel to further harass me. On top of that, I'm afraid of making myself look more like a victim than I feel like I am. Even though I was really hurt.
But that's been like 90% of your YouTube career is making yourself look like a victim. I don't understand.
By these videos, somehow not letting that show how much I was hurt on my channel has made me feel like I have more agency to make the type of content that I want to make. Although I've been constantly harassed, I have kept posting onto my YouTube channel because
Matt Smith was my Doctor Who. I liked the first guy.
I want to show that I'm not just that kid who was bullied. I hope that if this is the first time you're watching my content in a while, that you'll consider subscribing and checking out the other content that I make, because I am definitely not—
I'm very comfortable with where I'm at, English, first and only language. Where I'm at in nerddom, I'm very, very happy being a Warhammer nerd. Like, I'm pretty happy here. And I'm celebrating Orktober. I 3D printed up the Mech Daddy. Let me see if I can pull a picture up of it. That's what I was currently working on painting. I 3D printed up this guy, but I'm painting him black. And, yeah, he's going to be black and silver grayish, black and lead belcher. He's going to be fucking cool.
Leaving this platform anytime soon. With that said, there's no way to put what I went through lightly. The huge number of response videos, dislikes, and hate comments that you can see on and around my channel are only a small picture of what my experiences have been like. For one thing, I use heavy comment moderation. YouTube allows creators to blacklist words that will—
No, hold on. Doctor Who. Season 1? The new one. The 2005. Fuck, what's his name? Anyways. Christopher Eccleston. That's who. I liked him as Doctor Who.
automatically hold a comment for review. So I
wish I could buy 3D print minifigures. They're probably 3D print, like, you get a decent 3D printer. It's gonna be, you can get a Bamboo Lab for like $300 or $400, but you can 3D print everything on that one.
filled up my blacklist with every mean insult I could think of. I blacklisted.
Sin, you gonna go on a walk? Yes, I'm celebrating Orktober the correct way. I got my hands on a couple weeks ago the Kill DACA Battle Force, and I've been building and painting. My goal is to have something new at least painted every day.
Listed phrases like kill yourself and personal information like my dead name. Needless to say, there were thousands of comments like this that never made it to being public on my channel, but I still felt compelled to.
I want to have the Mech Daddy done by the end of the month. Painted, assembled, everything.
To read through my comments held for review every so often. So yes, every mean thought that a reactionary has ever had about me, trust me, I have read it before. If you hadn't already assumed this, I was also doxxed multiple times. The first time I got a message
Bitch, we're on the internet. Who wasn't? We're all doxxed.
On Twitter demanding that I apologize for calling all white people racist or they would dox me. Clearly, I didn't apologize, and I'm not going to. The second time was after one of Leafy's videos about me got taken down by YouTube for harassment, and his audience retaliated against me because they thought that I was the one who had gotten the video taken down. Really, the purpose of doxing is to make someone feel unsafe, which...
You know, you bring up an interesting point. Hello, you're heavy. Eccleston did well as a villain in Thor. I started watching a new channel called The Thrifty Typewriter. They make really good TV show analysis. And he called second seasons of things the sophomore year, where there's usually a lull. And I've noticed that in all the Marvel movies too. The second movie kind of sucked. Iron Man 2, Thor 2, they all kind of stunk.
Yeah, I felt very unsafe after I was doxxed. A number of people sent things to my house. Some of it could have been a prank out of a high school movie, and some of...
Yes, you know what? Noah Manis is correct. Relinquish your thumbs unto me with hitting the like button. Relinquish your shares by sharing it out on Twitter. And if you do want to support the Streamlabs, is down below. Anything you want to throw on the head is greatly appreciated. Everything with a question mark next to it is a new donation. Yeah, okay, Winter Soldier was fantastic. That's true. But anything with a question mark or series of question marks next to it is a new donation that hasn't been seen on this channel or the Silent Sin channel yet.
It was pretty transphobic. I got a couple of Bibles mailed to me and a couple of letters that said things like there's only 2 genders. For a period of a few weeks, I got calls during the middle of the night from a blocked number. A couple of times I answered, and a couple of times they left voicemails calling me by my dead name. I couldn't block them without knowing their number, so there was nothing I could do to stop it other than get a new phone number. I had to deal with this all on my own. Even though I was living with my parents at the time, they knew very little about what was going on. When they noticed that things were being sent to the house for me, I felt ashamed to tell them why, because I felt like it was my fault that I had put them in danger by having their address leaked online. Possibly the longest lasting effect of the harassment.
I worked for Matt Christensen for 4.5 years. People have said mean stuff about me as just an employee. We all deal with it. You sense it? Yeah, not the biggest fan of Christensen, but yeah, I mean, you just roll with the punches.
Harassment was the fact that I developed a lot of paranoia and hypervigilance. I became extremely afraid that someone would try to hurt me in person. I knew my fears were
Bacon Snark. What is her dead name? Please, nobody put the dead name in the chat, please.
Logical, but I had read enough threats
because under YouTube's new guidelines, I am held responsible for what's in my chat. So please don't put that in the chat.
Against me online to know that it was not impossible that something could actually happen or someone would try something. Saying that out loud makes me feel incredibly narcissistic because I wasn't ever attacked. But at the same time, I lived...
no need to be sorry. You didn't know. And I'm just asking, please, not to put that in the chat.
Several years of my life feeling like I could never let my guard down. Online harassment is so different from other types of harassment because I was being hated on by literally millions of anonymous people. I was made to feel like the whole world was against me, or at least a very large number of people hated me and wanted to cause me harm. And I had no idea who they were. Videos like this, made by someone at my high school who I had never really had a full conversation with, made me feel like I was constantly being watched. I was afraid to do anything remotely impolite in public because I was afraid that someone would make an expose about me. I noticed myself doing things like scanning a room whenever I showed up to a class in college to see if someone—
Oh my God. Milo, at your height, you had like 35,000 subscribers, 36,000. You were never that popular.
someone looked like they recognized me. I just felt like I was constantly on edge in public because I couldn't let go of the thought that something might happen to me.
Okay, I'm realizing that some people might think that I'm overstating how big this fear was for me, because if you only look at my YouTube channel, I don't have that many subscribers.
Hey, that's exactly what I just said.
So, like, who am I? I'm not relevant enough for people to care about me. That doesn't take into account the fact that so many people have seen clips of me off of my YouTube channel. I have just over 30,000 subscribers right now. I don't have that big of a channel, but I would say I actually get recognized in public somewhat frequently. I have had people come up to me on campus or on the street or whatever, telling me that they know who I am, and people are usually nice. But I can also sometimes get a sense that people only know who I am through the
Where's Livy? We need a show. The yikes hold no power here.
videos of me that went viral for being hated on.
Because I never left YouTube and I have mostly left all of my comments
This seems like one of those gang stalking videos.
open, I've received a lot of messages telling me how strong I am for putting up with the harassment. I definitely tried my hardest to not show skeptic YouTube that they were getting under my skin, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I have deceived my audience into thinking that I dealt with it better than I actually did. What bothered me wasn't what any one particular person said about me. What was so hard to deal with was the fact that the harassment, comments, and videos just wouldn't stop coming. For about a year after the most intense harassment started, I struggled with suicidal ideation. In a sense, I was kind of lucky because I was already seeing a therapist when the harassment started, so I didn't have to try and find those resources while I was going through the thick of it. Let me take a moment to say, if you are struggling with any kind of mental health issues, please—
If you getting online saying all white people are racist and people going, no, you're stupid, then you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna take myself out. Maybe you shouldn't be on the internet.
seek out support because you deserve it. I am putting the Trans Lifeline number in the description for anyone who needs it. After months of continuously receiving the same amount of harassment, the hate felt inescapable. I convinced myself I would always be known as a trans trender who said all white people are racist. And
I mean, that's... You did. You gave up on being trans to make an OnlyFans, and you called all white people racist. That is what you did.
that I would always be hated for it. In retrospect, I privated most of the videos that I posted in 2017 because I was making videos with the mindset that it didn't matter what I posted online because my online image was already ruined. That attitude is so unlike me because now that I have started to respect myself again, I put so much care and energy into making sure that my videos are thoughtful and have something to contribute. The hate comments and response videos have slowed down since 2016, but the biggest change for me is that I have built up my sense of self-worth that is not going to be crumbled by LARPing white nationalists. Past the most immediate effects on my mental health,
You can really tell that nothing was learned here because immediately jumps right to the, yeah, anyone who was mean to me, it clearly was white nationalists. It's like, what? What?
had a number of other internal responses to harassment that made it difficult to be a person online. I was so eager to do anything that I could to make the harassment stop. You can see this in how strongly I believed that YouTube shouldn't remove videos for harassment because I was afraid of being harassed for being the enemy of free speech on top of being an angry feminist.
But you've always advocated for censorship.
Maybe just a book, so those are the same thing. But in my mind, I thought I could be a pick-me, I guess. Like, I'm a feminist, but like, at least I believe in free speech? I don't know. For clarification, I now absolutely believe that YouTube should take down videos for harassment, but maybe do something before people make a platform off of only harassing people. Like, maybe not let people get to that point. My desperation brought
wow, I popped that right in the microphone. Pre-ban YouTube channels?
me to make a lot of excuses for the folks who were harassing me, and brought me to compromise on a lot of my values just so that I would stop being the target of anti-SJW YouTube. I collaborated on a video with Lauren Chen that I would have never made if I wasn't trying to remove the target off of my back, and that video actually did make skeptic YouTube like me more. Blair White and Daz Black actually apologized to me in the DMs. Well, they apologized for specific things. I don't think they apologized for everything that they should have apologized for. Even though these apologies seemed really insincere, I was very polite with both of them. Daz apologized to me for being ignorant on what non-binary means, but 5 years later, this video in which he misgenders me, mocks non-binary identities, and says that I wasn't being harassed for being transgender is still public on YouTube.
Okay, we're skipping this because there's no point in watching that.
Basically gaslighting me a lot.
And I have to leave in like 15 minutes. This is going on way longer than I wanted it to.
A lot of the commenters coming to my channel from his channel very strongly believe this narrative that he...
Oh yeah, the Futurama episode. Isn't that based on a movie? Oh, fuck. Someone in the chat's gonna get real mad at me. I can't remember the name of the movie with the pre-crime. Shit.
He's telling.
Yeah, refused to apologize for insulting an entire race of people, but expects everyone to apologize. Yeah.
My wife. I started HRT, but she seems to
Minority Report. Fuck, I knew it too.
Contradict her apology in the video that she made with Calvin Guerra just last year. I had such black and white thinking at the time that I was interested in engaging civilly with my harassers, while at the same time I overlooked a lot of valid criticism because I lumped all of the people commenting on my videos into one category of people who didn't like me for like no valid reason.
Oh, if this entire last section is Milo just jerking herself off, we're skipping.
For a while, I had an unstable perception of my own actions online because I would switch between either thinking that all of my critics were wrong and they were just having white fragility, or they were 100% correct.
Which you have never said, okay, I was wrong about that. They did not have white fragility. Maybe they just weren't racist. You've doubled and tripled back down on it.
And everything I have ever said was wrong. In truth, I think the reality was somewhere in between. Maybe more towards the former extreme, with the added element that these weren't just criticisms, that most of the responses I got were bullying. For a while, I downplayed the harassment that I faced because I felt like it was deserved. I watched too many of the response videos about me that I internalized a lot of the conservative talking points made about me. I know that I've gone through phases.
If you believe in, like, in your heart, if you believe in something, the loudest disagreements are not going to change your belief in something. For me, it sounds like you didn't believe this stuff. You just said it, and the people disagreeing with you were so convincing with what they said, you started to think that they were correct with what they were saying.
Of accepting and moving on from the harassment that I have faced, because now whenever someone brings up the harassment, I have one of two responses. Either I get this frustration that the harassment is being understated because even people who saw it happen in 2016 didn't get the full picture, or I feel like the harassment is being overstated. So those are obviously two contrasting responses, I know. Let me explain. In my opinion, total acceptance of what happened would look like completely not living in the past, only living in the present, and not having any attachment with the past and with that trauma as a part of my identity.
Trauma.
When I'm at that point, those memories of trauma probably won't feel so close to me. So having them recalled will feel like they're being overstated, as I kind of feel like I'm starting to experience right now as I'm really getting towards a point of acceptance. Like, I really feel like I'm almost there. I'm feeling really at peace with what happened.
Honestly, from this video, what I can tell is that Milo wants to believe the stuff that was said, but doesn't want to believe it enough if people are going to just disagree with it. So she's willing to compromise on the beliefs if people will like her. That's That is the most charitable way I can make this video out to be.
At the same time, no one but me can know what it was like to live through that harassment. Putting this video out in the world feels like I'm telling my truth, and it also feels like maybe it's the last step that I need to take before I reach that level of acceptance and peace with the harassment. That once this is out in the world, I'm like releasing it. I'm not holding on to it anymore. Once it's out there, I can really completely disidentify with the pain that I went through. I have gotten to where I am through a lot of therapy, and using mindfulness as a spiritual practice in a non-theological, secular, mystic sense. I find it helpful to frame the experiences of harassment that I went through using language that I found in that spiritual practice. I want to share this framing without necessarily implying that thinking in this way will resonate with anyone or necessarily be helpful to anyone who is dealing with a similar type of harassment. This is what helped me, and if listening to this also helps you, that's cool, but I'm not sharing this with the purpose of giving advice. That being said, there's 2 areas of personal growth that have helped me to be the person I want to be after 2016. I have worked to stop resisting my present life situation of how I am viewed online and am moving towards just accepting the present moment. And I'm working on letting go of ego and of my pain body, which is basically the formation of an identity around my past trauma. Acceptance of the present moment and choosing to live only in the present moment has been the most helpful thing in terms of dealing with hate and harassment videos. I believe that it's easy.
I completely shrimped out during all of that. I assume literally nothing was said right there.
Easy to get angry at hate comments because we believe that that anger will somehow change something about the present moment.
What? No, I like getting hate comments. Like, it's funny to me because I actually believe the stuff that I say, and I am willing to be proven wrong or have my beliefs changed. But for the most part, I believe everything that I say. So people laughing at me for having a belief is funny because, okay, you're actually mad at me because I have a different idea about what I can say and what you think I can say.
Definitely been guilty of thinking that if I express
crab
my anger towards hate comments online, somehow that resistance that I'm putting up to the present moment will change something about the fact that I am getting hate. I thought I needed to be motivated by my resentment for the harassment in my past and my hope for a better future, that somehow I could get to a point where the person I am now, or in my mind in the future, would be someone who just wouldn't get hate on. Like as if I could just harness my passive aggression towards hate online enough that I could will myself into being someone that people online would find likable.
Who cares? Really, you're still seeking validation from people on the internet. You said really dumb things. You never apologized. You said anyone who disagreed with you was a white nationalist or a Nazi, but still begged for their approval. It's weird.
I tried that for years and clearly it didn't work. I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea and that's totally okay. Like I really don't want to be everyone's cup of tea actually. Like the white nationalists, y'all can stay angry. I know it's so easier said than done, but getting angry, having this resistance to the present moment, even if it includes harassment, doesn't change anything other than creating more stress that I have to deal with. If I'm living in the present moment, I can accept things that—
You're not the resistance, dude. You did all of this stuff on the internet, didn't get paid enough and went to OnlyFans. You're not the resistance.
I can't change, including hate comments. And those comments can then just completely go through me without affecting me. That's a lot easier to do if I'm not attached to an image of myself that those comments are attacking. So now this brings me to talking about ego. If you're not living in the present, like most people aren't, and I'm not even gonna say that I completely am, you probably hold on to a sense of yourself that is based on what you have done in the past, what you want to do in the future, your politics, your relationships, and your communities. Conservatives like to say that queer people make their whole personalities out of being queer.
No. Certain ones certainly do. Whatever group there are people in that group that make their personality that entire identity. You just happen to be the one who was queer, making queerness your entire personality.
But really, most people make their identities out of one of these elements of their life. You can go your whole life without this harming you, but if you see your existence as these identities, that's what prevents you from seeing that you have value as a person if these elements of your life go away, which is what they did for me. Like, I lost everything that was valuable to me. It particularly becomes problematic if your identity is attached to your pain body. So basically, you identify with your past experiences of trauma. Pain needs pain to stay alive. So identifying with your pain body will keep you weighed down in negative thoughts unless you disidentify with your pain body. I've had to grow to see my value as a person separate from these identities.
Disidentify with your pain body.
Because the harassment that I faced made all of these parts of my identity feel painful. I was being attacked for basically all parts of my identity. So my transness is even only a small part of this. So much of what I was being attacked for was my appearance, was my mannerisms, all these other things that...
Or was it the shit that you said? Did people just completely ignore whatever you said in the video and turn around and go, well, I don't really care what they said. They just look stupid, so I'm not listening.
I had attached to who I feel I am as a person. My image, my face became eternalized as something that transphobes and conservatives could vaguely gesture at when they wanted to invoke a depiction of a trans person or a leftist or a feminist that they hated. You can see this in the sheer number of thumbnails that my face appears in, even though I am completely not mentioned in the video. Because
or I am mentioned extremely briefly. That's not true.
Creators just want their viewers to get mad at what my image reminds them of, without necessarily having that attached to anything that I have ever done or said, or anything that is really truthful about who I am as a person. It's just this image that they can get angry at. You know, maybe people would know something about me and then they would get angry about that, but also people were just getting angry because I represented something to them. I was turned into a caricature for conservatives to get mad at. Everything that I believed was me, right?
At least she moved away from Nazis to conservatives.
Down to my physical appearance was turned into something that I couldn't identify with. My world was shattered. I felt like I lost everything that was meaningful to my sense of self at once, and I was never going to get it back. I can only now feel acceptance for how my image has been used online, because I feel very deeply now that those images, that depiction is not me. What people say about me online has no weight on my identity, so my sense of self can't be shattered by what is said about me online. It took my attachment with my ego and my pain body becoming too painful to identify with that.
What is this pain body?
I had no choice but to wake up and realize that I have internal value as a person, and that is the same value that all humans share. I still have a sense of self based around my values, but that is not something that can ever be broken by an insecure man in his 30s yelling at a camera. Even in the present day, when more survivors of harassment are finding community together through sharing their experiences, nothing has fundamentally changed to prevent another 2016 era anti-SJW targeted harassment campaign from happening. Even worse, I'm afraid that having lived through that era made young queer people afraid to come out.
You are Milo Stewart. You are not the young queer people of America. You are one queer person who existed, exists presumably, but at one point existed online, described an entire race of people as a horrible thing, then got mad when people were like, hey man, no, that's not true. And you're like, well, you're just making fun of me for being gay. Like, what? You are not a representative.
A number of messages from young queer people who told me they closeted themselves after they saw what I went through because the message was made
I'm calling bullshit 100%.
clear. Don't be like Milo or the same thing will happen to you. Queer creators on this platform have not been taken seriously because we are more readily attacked for our identities and our appearances than what we contribute to it.
I know plenty of queer people that are on YouTube, and they get insane amounts of love and support and people enjoying their content, enjoying them as people. You are the outlier to this. You are not a representative of queer people.
Community. The alt-right is still quote mining us, making it impossible to have conversations because viewers will...
But the queer people that I know don't make their entire content and personality about being queer, so that probably doesn't count to you.
Believe the false representation of our arguments made by the alt-right. At the same time, some members of the online left are eager to build bridges with the same folks who caused me and others harm and who have not taken accountability. In many cases, they continue to cause harm because their videos harassing young queer people are still online. So people will find those videos and are still sending me and others hate because they see the reaction video. What we need right now is for our allies to be aware of and name what is happening. If you share community with folks who have targeted individuals, you need to be a part of that accountability process. Please also support
If you're part of a community that has ever targeted anybody, you're part of the problem. Hold your friends accountable.
the creators I linked below who have voiced their experiences with harassment. The biggest thing that you can do to support me is really just watch my content.
Make sure you give me that AdSense money. Okay. Dumb. Okay, so I am super glad I got to watch this with chat because this was a hell of a slog. But I will be back tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. EST for the AAA meeting, so make sure you are here for that. But guys, yeah, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you for spending a little bit of your afternoon with me over here. I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 EST for the AAA meeting with Drunken Uncle and sometimes Polydove. But I will see you then, guys. Have a good night. Later.